Hello everyone. Today I'll be discussing about contract of bailment. This particular contract of bailment has been defined under section 148 of Indian Contract Act. A bailment is the delivery of goods by one person to another for some purpose upon a contract that they shall, when the purpose is accomplished, be returned or otherwise disposed of according to the directions of the person delivering them. So simply, it's like you're delivering your clothes to get them ironed up to a man. This is what? This is a contract of bailment. In this contract of bailment, the person who delivers the goods is called the bailor, and to whom the goods are delivered is called the bailee. So there are two parties, bailor and bailee. Let's look at the essential elements for a contract of bailment. So there must be a contract first of all. The contract may be expressed or implied. It should also have all the essential elements of a valid contract as lined up under Section 10 of Indian Contract Act 1872. Second and foremost essential element of this contract of bailment is goods, that there should be some kind of goods, like you're delivering your clothes to a tailor to get them stitched. This is what? This is a contract of bailment. Next essential element is delivery. There must be delivery of goods by one person to another person. Next essential element is purpose of delivery. The goods must be delivered for some purpose. So the goods have to be delivered for a particular purpose. Without purpose, it's not a contract of bailment. The purpose may be expressed or implied. Even if you're helping your friend to help your friend, you are just giving him the keys of your scooty because he need to go urgently somewhere. So this is what? This is also a kind of bailment. Next essential element is return or disposal of goods. The delivery of goods must be conditional. The condition shall be that the goods shall be returned. Like, let's take the example of that tailor, that you have given your clothes to tailor to get them stitched. So the condition shall be that the goods will be returned, and the goods will be returned in an altered form or disposed of according to the directions of the bailor. Now, second thing over here is the disposed of according to the directions of the bailor. Say, for example, Swiggy. You have ordered food from Swiggy, and Swiggy delivery man came and delivered that particular food item to you. Now, that particular food item is there in plastic boxes. So, what are you required to do? Are you gonna go to again to that particular restaurant from which you have ordered the food and you'll hand over all those plastic boxes to them? No, you just have to dispose of those plastic boxes. Means you just have to use them, you have to consume the food, and you just need to throw them back just after accomplishing the purpose. So the purpose over here in this Swiggy example is that you have ordered a food and you will consume that particular food. So after consuming the food, the purpose is accomplished. Next, section 149 talks about modes of delivery. So there are three modes of delivery. First one is actual delivery. Transfer of physical possession of goods from one person to another. So the physical possession of goods is getting transferred from one person to another. That is called actual delivery. Second is symbolic delivery. Physical possession of goods is not actually transferred. A person does some act resulting in transfer of possession to other person. Like you're delivering the keys of your scooty to your friend. This is what? This is the symbolic delivery. Next is constructive delivery. A person is already in possession of goods of owner. Such person contracts to hold the goods as a bailee for the third person. Then such person becomes the bailee and the third person becomes the bailor. So the role is changing in constructive delivery. Next, we have this classification of bailment. So this kind of bailment has been divided on two bases. First one is on the basis of reward. So on the basis of reward, we have gratuitous bailment and non-gratuitous bailment. And on the basis of benefit, we have three subcategories. First one is bailment for the exclusive benefit of the bailor. Second, bailment for the exclusive benefit of the bailee. And third one is bailment for the mutual benefit of the bailor and bailee. So first category, for the exclusive benefit of the bailor. For example, leaving a pet with neighbor when you are out of the town is a bailment for the exclusive benefit of you that somebody is taking care of your pet. Next is for the exclusive benefit of the bailee. Your friend borrow your bike for some specific purpose. This bailment is for your side as a bailor for the exclusive benefit of your friend as a bailee. Next one is for the mutual benefit of both of the parties like bailor and bailee. Giving a bike for repair to a mechanic in which the consideration passes between the bailor and the bailee. So now this is the mutual benefit. The mechanic will repair the bike and in return he'll get a consideration, and for the party who had delivered the bike, that person's bike will get repaired. So this is a mutual benefit of both of these parties. Next, on the basis of remuneration, gratuitous bailment. It is a bailment where no consideration passes between the bailor and the bailee, where you lend your book to a friend free of charge. You are helping your friend by providing the keys of your scooty. So these all are examples for gratuitous bailment. Non-gratuitous bailment, it is a bailment where no consideration passes between the bailor and the bailee, where you run a library by charging a fees. Someone get issued some books and he will pay the charges. So he may or may not be your friend. Next we have is duties of bailor. So first duty is lined up under section 150, that is duty to disclose known faults. So whatever goods that is delivered, so the bailor is under a duty to disclose all the known faults which he is aware about that particular good. Second is duty to bear expenses of bailment under section 158. So the bailor is under a duty to bear all kind of expenses of that particular bailment. Next, duties of bailee. First one is under section 151 to take reasonable care of the goods billed. So whatever goods have been billed to the bailee is under a duty to take reasonable care as a prudent man would do. Second is not to make any unauthorized use of the goods under section 153 and 154. For example, for this particular is like you have given a kurti to get it altered to a tailor. So you have given that particular kurti just for a particular purpose to get it altered as per the size that you have provided. Now, in spite of altering that particular kurti, the kurti is being used by the daughter of that particular tailor. So this is what this is the unauthorized use of the goods billed. Next is not to mix the goods billed with his own goods. So now the bailee is under a duty not to mix his goods with the goods billed with his own goods under section 155 to 157. So let's look them in detail. Section 155, with the bailor's consent, both shall have a proportionate interest in the mixture thus produced. So if the goods are getting mixed, both of the parties should have a proportionate interest in the mixture so produced. Second, under section 156, without the bailor's consent, and if the goods can be separated or divided, the bailee is bound to bear the expenses of the separation or division as well as damages arising from the mixture. So if the bailee has mixed the goods without the consent of the bailor, then the goods should be separated or divided. So the expenses of these separation will be borne by the bailee himself. Next is under section 157, without the bailor's consent, so that the mixture is beyond separation, the bailor is entitled to be compensated by the bailee for the loss of the goods. If the goods are beyond the separation, means they can't be divided. The goods are mixed in such a way that they can't be divided. Like take an example for flour. So the bailor has delivered a particular bag of flour to you, and you also, the bailee is also again having one more bag of flour. In spite of keeping them separately, he has mixed both of the flours. So is it separable? No, it is not. So then the bailee has to bear the cost. Next is not to set up an adverse title. This particular thing has been lined up under section 117 of Indian Evidence Act. Means if the bailor is delivering any kind of goods under the contract of bailment, then the bailee is not entitled to set up any adverse title over the goods. He is under only a duty to take reasonable care and use that particular good for the purpose which he has taken it for. Next one is under section 163 to return any accretion to the goods. Suppose there is any kind of increment over the goods. For example, A has delivered his cow to B for a week because he went out of the village. in just 1 week duration. The cow gives birth to a calf. So now this calf is again a accretion to the goods. So whenever A will return, B has to return him the cow as well as the calf. Next is to return the goods under section 161. So the parties under a duty to return back the goods after the purpose is accomplished. Next we have is rights of the bailor. First one is enforcement of rights. The bailor can enforce by suit all the liabilities or duties of the bailee as his rights. Second is under section 153, avoidance of contract. The bailor can terminate the bailment if the bailee does, with regard to the goods bailed, any act which is inconsistent with the terms of the bailment. Means, if the bailee has done any kind of act which doesn't meet the terms of the contract, then the contract can be avoided under section 153. Next is return of goods lent gratuitously. If the goods are lent gratuitously, then the goods have to be returned under section 159. When the goods are lent gratuitously, the bailor can demand their return whenever he pleases to, even though he lent them for a specified time or purpose. But if the bailee suffers any loss exceeding the benefit actually derived by him from the use of such goods because of premature return of goods, the bailor shall have to indemnify the bailee. Next is under section 180, compensation from a wrongdoer. If a third person wrongfully deprives the bailee of the use of possession of the goods bailed or does them any injury, the bailor or the bailee may bring a suit against the third person for such deprivation of injury. Next we have is rights of the bailee. So first one is lined up under section 165, delivery of goods to one of the several joint bailors. If several joint owners of goods bail them, then the bailee may deliver them back to or according to the directions of one joint owner without the consent of all, in the absence of any contrary agreement. Second one is under section 166, delivery of goods to bailor without title. If the bailor has no title to the goods and the bailee in good faith delivers them back to or according to the directions of the bailor, the bailee is not responsible to the owner in respect of such delivery. Next is section 167, right to apply to court to stop delivery. If a person other than the bailor claims goods bailed, the bailee may apply to the court to stop such kind of delivery of the goods to the bailor and to decide the title of that particular good. Next is right against the trespasses under section 180. If the third person wrongfully deprives the bailee of the use or the profession of the goods bailed to him, he has the right to bring an action against that party. The bailor can also bring a suit in respect of the goods bailed. Next is bailee's line. Where the lawful charges of the bailee in respect of the goods bailed are not paid, he may retain the goods. This right of the bailee to retain the good is known as particular line. And till when he can retain the good? Unless his lawful charges are being paid off. Thank you.